All right, we're back, and a good Sunday to you all. I think it's Sunday. Back with some Red Baron, and I've been a busy aerodrome keeper, working hard on this and getting this sim to run. So thanks for joining me if you guys are interested. So I got Red Baron running so we can play a campaign, but I wanted to share some history with you guys. Been working on some scenes for a live stream, and so we'll see how our campaign goes today. And we'll be flying as the legendary balloon buster Frank Luke from Arizona, the Arizona balloon buster. So I prepared a little media piece to show you just who we're going to be flying as and why he's significant as the second highest scoring United States ace of the Great War. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and stay tuned for some Red Baron. I have everything working and it's very nice. So let's get right to the history. Sing it if you know it. Frank Luke is who we will be portraying in our campaign today. So I wanted to give you guys his history. This guy was a daredevil.
While in training, Luke wrote many letters home, giving us a rare look at his personal thoughts.
Dear Mother, well, I have at last started flying. Gee, but it's a great sport. Flying has become very commonplace now. I'm getting so I feel I can drive my machine with my eyes closed.
Luke was sent to France in March 1918 for further training and then went on to battle. He wrote the following letter the night before he went overseas.
Well, sister, I'm real anxious to do my bit for my country. Remember, I have $10,000 with the government insurance. I know if anything would happen, you could get the $10,000 easily. Not that anything would, but safety first.
Ironic words from a man who would live the rest of his life thinking seldom of safety. Luke was assigned to the 27th Aero Squadron and flew a French Spad. He was put into combat on September 12, 1918. This would mark the beginning of his short but brilliant career as a fighter pilot.
We'll start earlier in March.
Were observation balloons, and he quickly earned the nickname the Balloon Buster. Downing a balloon was no small feat and took an enormous amount of daring. They moved slowly, but these floating sausages were heavily guarded by anti-aircraft guns from below and swarms of aircraft from above. Frank Luke Jr. preferred to work alone and would often break formation as well as a few rules, making him unpopular at times with his peers and superiors.
He was well known for going out in formation,
His grandson.
faking engine trouble by pulling the choke, no communications, would point at his engine signaling to have engine trouble. They would release him from the wing and he would turn out and go lone wolfing.
Luke developed the habit of dropping notes on troops below in order to get confirmation of his victories, because early on his claims were often considered false or exaggerated by his peers. On September 18th, his 6th day in combat, Luke had his most victorious day, casting aside all doubts of his courage and expertise as a fighter pilot. Under the cover of his wingman and best friend, Joseph Weiner, Luke downed 2 balloons, 2 fighter planes, and 1 observation plane, claiming 5 victories in less than 10 minutes. In all of aerial combat history, this incredible accomplishment would never be equaled. Luke didn't celebrate his victories that day, for ironically, it was also the day of his greatest loss. His friend and partner, Joseph Weiner, didn't survive. Frank Luke never recovered from the death of his friend. On several occasions, he went AWOL to be alone or with friends in neighboring airdromes. He returned only to be grounded by his commanding officer. On
Wayner was the
29th,
second
in
highest scoring
defiance
ace of the
orders,
27th.
Luke took off in a SPAD. He dropped his usual note to troops below. Watch for 3 burning balloons. Crossing over enemy lines, he managed to down all 3 balloons, despite facing heavy ground fire and 8 enemy airplanes. He was wounded in the shoulder, and before he was forced to crash land, he swooped down and strafed German troops in the streets of Mervaux, France, killing some ground soldiers.
This is where his legend.
Refusing to be taken prisoner, Luke
Refused to be
pistol
taken
and
alive
shot at
legend.
oncoming German soldiers. Clearly outnumbered, Luke was shot to death on his 17th day of combat.
Refused to be taken
The
alive.
story of his last day was told in a sworn statement signed by the citizens and mayor of Mervaux. His body was later moved from Mervaux and buried with full military honors in Romagna, France. Lieutenant Frank Luke Jr. was posthumously awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor, making him one of only 4 World War I airmen to receive the nation's highest decoration. Frank Luke Sr. accepted the medal on his son's behalf at the state capitol in Phoenix in May 1919. A statue of Frank Luke Jr. stands there today.
In 1941, this airfield was dedicated in Frank Luke Jr.'s memory. Luke Air Force Base remains the largest fighter pilot training facility in the free world. It is here that America honors the great balloon buster from Arizona.
Good deal.
Pioneers like Luke, Vaughn, and Rickenbacker belong to a brotherhood of brave young adventurers who were driven by their love of flying and desire to serve.
Nice. That was fun. Thanks for tuning in, you guys, to Movie Time. Your 5 minutes of history for the day. So Frank Luke, I don't even think he's in the game. I'm sure Otto von Stockel put him in the game in some mod. But no pilot pick, so I put one in. And we'll seek out his plane skins, and we will fly his SPAD 13. And we'll probably do some transferring around to the Kickin' Mules and the Hat in the Ring squad. And we'll be going up against Jasta 11, the Red Baron squad. This late in the war, summer of 1918, we'll be going up against Udet, Lowenhart, and Lothar von Richthofen. And so stay tuned, you guys.